So talk to me about the beginning, man. What were those first haircuts like? What was going through your mind with all that?
My first haircuts were a disaster, man. It's a sacrifice you have to make if you want. It's think of it as a long-term investment. That's the best thing I can say.
So what has been your biggest challenge as a barber? What's been like a crazy story that you have from a vacation? Welcome to the Life We Choose podcast. I'm your host, Sergio Garcia. Today, I'm talking to Henry Blends, who is the owner of the Sharp Society Barbershop. So, Henry, it is good to have you here, bro. How you doing today?
Thank you, Samir. I'm doing really good, bro. It's a pleasure to be here, and man, I can't get enough of this setup, bro. It looks amazing, and I'm proud of you too. But thank you for having me, bro.
Of course,
Feel really
bro.
good to be here. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing good. So as you guys can see, some of the bookshelves are kind of empty. So something that I want to implement is getting people to bring their own items that represent them. So Henry, what'd you bring today? What you got for us?
Today, I brought my first pair of clippers that I've ever used cutting hair. As Sergio mentioned, I am an owner of a barbershop. So, being in a while in the industry, I was like, man, let me bring my first pair of clippers. It'll be a good addition to the bookshelf.
The first ones, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
So tell me about the beginning, man. What got you into being a barber? Like, why'd you want to start cutting hair, and what age were you?
Man, so when I first started cutting hair, I was 16, 15 to 16 years old. I was in that sophomore class, of high school. And, it kind of just came to me. I never thought about being a barber. It's something that I just, you're on YouTube and you just see a recommended video pop up or something. And I was like, man, let me try it out,
Yeah. Okay, bet. So you said that you just wanted to try it out. So you took that initiative by yourself. You didn't have any mentor or anything like that?
No, man. So I did take that initiative by myself where I've watched one specific video and I was like, all right, let me try it. So I ever since watching that video, I tried it out. I called my cousin up. I was like, hey, dude, you want to get a haircut? I want to try something new. And he was okay with it. So, he came to my house. First time cutting hair. These clippers were sitting for a while before I even picked them up.
Shit, yeah.
They were sitting for about a month or two, and
Yeah, and then you just got started.
Yeah, just started with it. Yeah,
That's what's up. So talk to me about the beginning, man. What were those first haircuts like? What was going through your mind with all that?
My first haircuts were a disaster, man. So, dude, I couldn't even tell you, bro. I thought I was doing amazing,
Yeah.
They would come to my house, it was always a specific group that would continually come. People I grew up with would support me, which I'm very thankful for. But the first few haircuts, bro, dude, what was going through my mind was, man, I was doing the best. I was the best barber in Memphis at that point. But I was really having fun with it. I was having a lot of fun with it. We were just laughing, listening to good music, having good talks, and that's what kind of where the passion grew. Where I was like, dude, this is really nice. This is something I could see myself doing for a long time.
Yeah. So I think that when I first started going to you, you were already established. Like, people knew that you cut hair good.
Right.
And something that I really liked about you was that I could just talk to you about anything. I knew you before cutting hair and stuff, so I was like, this dude's cutting hair now? Like, this is cool now.
Why not try it out, right?
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's good, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And then, so you started off, like, doing it at your house, right?
I did, bro. My room is not that big, so I started cutting right beside my bed. My bed was probably as far, that far from each other, and started my room, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, but one of my mom's friend was a hairstylist, and she had an extra barber chair. And I just asked her, "Hey, can I use your barber chair?"
Up. Yeah.
She let me have the chair, and yeah, from there, bro, I was using trash bag as the capes. Dude, you got to do it.
That
bro.
works.
You
got
to do it.
Whatever works.
So yeah, bro. Like you mentioned, we did know each other from soccer, bro.
Yeah.
From a while ago. So and yeah, bro.
Yeah. So you were cutting hair at your house. But then I know that you also went to Pauline. So tell me about Pauline. What'd you learn about Pauline, the people there, anything like that?
Dude, so cutting hair at Pauline, it really taught me how to how to talk to people. So before I was in my house, I was I was more on the shy side of like, I wasn't really putting my name out there, posting on social media. So that's one of the first things that Pauline taught me. It taught me how to talk to people, how to greet people when they walk in.
Mhm.
And thankfully I had some people there that, they really helped me out to get out of my shell,
Yeah.
learn new things. They taught me new techniques, and they just taught me the barber game. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's a whole different side of the game that I didn't know because I was in my house, alone.
Yeah.
So that jump to Pauline, it really helped me out. Um, shoot, what else can I think of? Yeah, bro, it's just helped me get out my shell. It's not on the great side of the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
You see a lot of
It's like
stuff.
on Summer,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. So and so you see a lot of things, you learn a lot of things, and you meet good people. They
Hmm.
teach you how to be smart in different ways, not just cutting hair, not just being a person, but just different ways, of being smart. You know, maybe I was taught some money management there too, like don't spend money on this, instead put it here. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
so that jump to Pauline really helped me on that, bro. I grew most of my clientele there, thankfully. So it was really fun. It was a fun experience, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Really fun experience.
Yeah. That's what's up, bro. And what year was that? I forgot what year that was that you started at Pauline.
Dude, that was 2020, 2020, I think.
Like 2020,
2020,
21.
21 to 22 probably.
Yeah.
Around 2 years.
About
Yeah, it
two
was two
years.
years.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years.
So after Pauline, then you decided to make your own shed and like have your own place.
Exactly, bro.
Hmm.
So I was working at Pauline from 16 to 17 years old, and once I was in that transition to 17, 18, I was like, I want to make my own thing.
Yeah.
I was I kind of got tired of paying to work. So I was like, I want to pay myself to do my own thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And really the owner there wasn't so present. So, I just didn't see no connection to staying there as well,
Hmm.
because that barbershop owner, he wasn't like, he was just there, boom, get out.
Yeah, I get you. So then you decided to move.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
took that jump. I was like, I had this backyard shed that it was just sitting there, bro. Like empty shell, it was
Yeah.
horrible. And we knocked it down, reconstructed it. That was my first big investment. My first big investment was my shed and paid off really good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember times when I was going over there, bro. It just felt like a vibe. Like I could just talk to
Yeah,
you
dude.
just one on one and things like that.
Yeah,
So
bro.
that was really nice.
Thank you, bro. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So after you started you went to Pauline and then you
Right.
went to your shed. I think after that you started going to barber school.
I did, bro. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was in the transition of barber school, and dude, you actually pulled up a couple times.
I
Or what?
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I did go.
Samir's a real one, bro. He came to barber school to get a haircut. That's a real
Yeah,
one. So
absolutely.
so yeah, I was in barber school getting my license, and the main reason I was getting my license is I want to open up a shop. I want to open up my own shop.
Hmm.
I loved being in the shed, but I was like, man, I want something bigger.
Yeah.
I want to set higher standards for myself, and went to barber school, got my license,
Hmm.
met some great people there.
Yeah.
Met some great people.
Congrats on that, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
of course, of
Yes, sir.
course. And then so you got your license and everything. You were in the shed for a while, and then tell me about that step to making your dreams come true of getting that barbershop.
Dude, that step was crazy because it was one of those moments where you know, my savings and everything, they were looking perfect. I was like, yo, I've saved up enough money. I put my money in the right places. I gotta make this next move. So I didn't even have a location yet, right? And I bought the barber chairs. I bought all the barber chairs without having a location yet, right? So that's a big thing. If you wanna make a move, you have to believe in yourself. You have to just do it. So I bought the barber chairs without even like knowing where I was gonna put those barber chairs in.
Yeah.
They were sitting there in the shed while I was cutting, and a lot of prayer, a lot of talking,
Yeah.
decision making. I found the right spot, right?
Hmm.
I was scrolling through the internet and boom, I found the right spot. Everything looked good. And I just pulled the trigger on it, dude. Pulled
Hmm.
the trigger on it, and it was good, dude.
Dude,
It
yeah.
needed a lot of renovations, so
Hmm.
we got the renovations knocked down in a month. That was,
Hmm.
that was solid. Shout out to everybody who helped me, man. If you helped me out,
Yeah.
every single one of my clients, everybody, man. Thank you. And
Shout out to them, man, for sure.
yeah, and yeah, bro, that was the next step. Bought the barber chairs, got the place, and I didn't have a specific blueprint. I
Hmm.
just kind of the whole layout of the shop is it just went as I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with a smooth layout where I feel like everybody can just talk to each other, connect,
Hmm.
and it went pretty good, dude.
Yeah,
It went pretty good.
absolutely.
Yeah, pretty well.
Opening day, it looked like a lot of people were there, man. It
Yes,
was
dude.
flooded with people.
Thank you, bro.
So that's good, bro. That's a lot of success, bro. And how long did all that take from day one of starting to getting your own barbershop? How long was that?
So you mean like since I picked up these
Yeah,
clippers?
since you picked those
Since
up.
I picked up the clippers, it was 5 years, probably 5 to 6
5
years. 5 years,
years.
yeah. 2020 to
Wow.
no, like 2019 to 2025. Yeah, like 6 years. Let's put it
Yeah.
6 years. Yeah, 6 years.
How old are you, bro?
20.
20?
Yes, sir.
And you
Yes,
have
sir.
your own barbershop
Yeah, bro.
already?
Thank you,
That's
bro. Thank
crazy,
you.
bro. That's
Thank you.
crazy to me. So dude, I can't tell you enough how proud I am of you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
So tell me, I want to get a little bit more into like the financial side
Right.
because you have to be smart with your money to get your own
Right, right,
barbershop.
right.
So what was that like saving that money? How disciplined did you have to be with all that?
Dude, very disciplined, dude. Like
Hmm.
I was still buying like if I like something like, I would get it, but it would be very rare. So just saving up money, I would pay myself every week, as if there was booth rent, but there wasn't booth rent. And a lot of it was just saving up, man. Just saving up. If I didn't need it, I wouldn't buy it. That type of
Yeah.
thing. Thankfully all of my clients show love and they kept coming back to me. We built a customer connection, so that really
Hmm.
helped. Really, bro, just saving up, like financial wise, save up because I don't come from a lot of money, you know what I mean, to where
Yeah.
I can just be blowing it or, just doing other things with it. So
Hmm.
that's the best thing I can say. Like if you're young and you want to make a big investment move and you don't come from a lot of money, you have to save up.
Yeah.
You have to, budget yourself. That's a big thing. I budgeted a lot,
Hmm.
on my food. I would set specific limits on how much I could spend on food.
Hmm.
Even on trips, I wouldn't take barely any trips, barely go out of town. And I still do that because I still have like goals, that I want to reach.
Yeah.
So like on the financial side, save, budget yourself. And
Was it like a save weekly or is it save monthly? Like you have to set a goal for that month
every
or
day, it was
every
yeah,
day?
every
Okay.
day. So I would set, every of what I would make every day, honestly, I would 100 to my pocket to the side every day. And then from
Hmm.
there, 100 every day kind of just kept going up. If I could max it out more, I would max it out more.
Yeah.
And from there, bro, yeah, just that's the best thing, that's the best answer I could give you. I'm still
Hmm.
learning about financials, but from a solo standpoint, being in the shed, that's the number one thing I learned.
Hmm. Yeah.
And having a good girlfriend too. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie,
Dude,
like,
she's been really
dude,
supportive of you,
shout
man.
out to
Yeah.
Giovanna. I love you, baby. Dude, like
Oh,
honestly, having a good girlfriend, she'll tell you like, do you need it? Do you really
mhm.
need it?
I get you, bro. I understand.
I
Yeah.
would, like if it's an expensive restaurant, we would look for alternatives,
Hmm.
just to save that money to get here. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's a sacrifice you have to make if you want, it's think of it as a long-term investment. That's the best thing I could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you.
The plan one day is to just eat wherever,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
wherever.
I get
Yeah.
you. So, what has been your biggest challenge as a barber? What has been like something that you were like, dang, this is a hard mountain to climb?
I think my health, honestly. I would say like as a barber, I kind of lost my health a lot. You know, I started eating bad. You know, that's one of the harder mountains to climb in barbering. Your health and what else? I can't think of anything else, man. Like really just my health, dude.
Yeah, because I feel like you're putting the time in, so it's
Right.
hard to take care of yourself.
Exactly,
Yeah.
bro. Like you'll have 30 minutes, bro. Run to McDonald's, get you, hot and spicy, whatever,
Yeah.
And everything else is pretty straightforward. You know, it's not hard work, honestly. Um, yeah, bro. You actually just thought of one mentally challenging, bro. You got to deal with multiple personalities in one day. You're mentally drained. You know, physically you're good, but mentally, like, you'll have one client talk about like, yo, I just graduated, and you're happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next client will be like, man, dude, like my pet just passed away. And they're sad and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's like emotions everywhere. Like, it's just mentally, emotionally challenging.
The relationship side too.
Right.
Yeah, I get you.
Because it wouldn't be challenging if I didn't care, if that makes sense. But since I care about every single person I cut, I guess that would be the only challenging part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing about you is I feel like there's rarely a time where you're like, I'm not going to work today. I feel like you're always working, man. So that's a good thing to have, bro.
Thank you. Yeah, like, dude, I think a big thing of that is my pops, he works every day. There's not a single day he won't wake up and not go to work, because he knows he has to provide. And if I see that, I'm like, dude, I gotta, if he does it, I can do it,
Yeah.
But it's important to take your vacations too. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about your parents, man. You said your dad was supportive.
Yeah.
When you first told them like I want to pursue barbering, what did they tell you?
Dude, my mom was flipping out, dude. Because, I was going to a pretty good high school, so they expect me to go to college, like go into business, finance, And my mom was flipping out, dude. I'm not going to lie. She was like, what? You're going to be a barber, this and that. As time went, though, she adapted and she was proud of me. She's always been supportive, too. And my dad was just like, dude, if you like it, do it, So that really helped me out. He was like, if you like it, do it. Go ahead,
so
do
there's
it.
a little difference
Yeah,
there.
yeah. But at the end, it kind of all just came together and they were like, we're proud of you. And this is a pretty good path.
Okay, that's good, bro.
So anybody young that wants to be a barber, it's a good choice right now. Even if your parents might not be supportive, just trust the process. It's worth it. It's really worth it. Good career.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've talked about barbering. I want to talk about Henry the person, man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Okay. So I want to talk to you about this, right? So we went to Indianapolis and we also went to Dallas, man. We don't got to talk about why we went to Indianapolis. Let's talk about Dallas.
Why not Indianapolis, bro?
You know the reason. You know
what
why
you
we
mean,
went.
bro?
It was a good trip. It was a good trip. I like the trip.
It was a solid trip.
It was a solid trip. I love the people. The main reason we went was a little, Yeah, but
not again, chat.
It was a good trip.
Yeah, I would go again.
Yeah,
but not for that reason.
So tell me, which one did you like more, Indianapolis or Dallas?
Bro, Dallas, bro. It's a boys trip. Me, you, and your cousin Alejandro, right? Yeah, dude. We went out there, bro. It was a random day. I think it was you brought it up on a random day. Dude, you go ahead, bro.
So the reason I told everybody to do this was because I've never had Dave's hot chicken. I know it's kind of crazy. But y'all were down for it. I was down for it too.
I was down, bro. Dave's hot chicken, bro.
Little 8-hour drive, won't hurt nobody. So we had it. It was pretty fire. But we also did more things.
We did, bro. We went to the mall. We tried on random clothes, bro.
Bro,
you remember that leather jacket?
Can I show them that picture?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay, bet. Bro, that picture of him wearing that leather jacket, bro. I don't know why, but I was dying during that time. And he was you were on some BS, going to like the Gucci store, and you were like, let's act like we finna buy something. And
dude, we was just roaming everywhere, bro. Dave's hot chicken was fire. It
was fire.
Dave's hot chicken. That was a great idea, bro. Great idea. We waited like till they opened, I think.
Bro, yeah. It was good, bro. I can't lie. When I was driving, I was a little tired, but I was like, this is worth it, man.
He wouldn't let us take the wheel, bro. Brand new car.
What about we did an escape room, didn't we?
We did escape room, bro.
Yeah.
We never got out.
Yeah, we never made it out.
We're probably still in there.
There was like 3 rooms in that. We made it out the first one. We got into the second one. We're like, we're good. Like we just made it. And then we found out
this man carried, bro. You carried it. You carried.
Did. I've done them. I've done them a lot though. So yeah. I mean, I feel like you were pretty decent. How do you think you did?
I think I was just there watching y'all do it, bro. Like
for real?
serious.
You don't think you
were?
I
was helping
like
out, dude, but I was just there chilling.
Damn.
Big escape room though, bro. Big escape room.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about let me ask you this. What's been like a crazy story that you have from a vacation?
Solid question, bro. That's definitely on the spot, dude.
Yeah. Think about it for a little bit.
Let me think about it. You want to go first? You go first.
A crazy story that I have. I don't think I really be on some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I just be it won't be anything crazy. But when I went to Cancun, I didn't put on any sunblock. And like for the next 3 days I couldn't go outside because I was burning, bro. And everybody else was like enjoying it. And I was just
cooked yourself, dude.
Yeah, I was looking out the window like fuck. Like I should have put that sunscreen on. Damn. So I missed out on like the good parts of the trip.
That's good, bro. Sunburn yourself. That's tough.
Yeah, that is tough. You got one?
Oh, I got a bunch, dude. Like, I won't go into depth. Like crazy story, just in general. Or,
just like about like a vacation, or if you have a crazy story in general, what you got?
Like I got like events that happen. Like I heard La Llorona before in Mexico. That's a crazy one. I heard La Llorona. Car broke down, bro. 2 hours into the trip, dude.
I did hear about that one.
Like an hour and a half into the trip, car broke down, bro. Horrible.
Damn.
Horrible. We had to push the car, you know, to get a better deal on the tow truck.
Oh, damn. You had to push it?
We had to push it uphill. Me and the boys, bro. Save
you money, I guess.
Because they were charging us, I think, $600.
600?
Yeah. Where we broke down, and if we pushed it, it was like
it was good? Okay. Tell me about the Llorona one.
Llorona, bro.
Where were you at, bro? What
it
were
was
you doing?
just so my girl's family, they I think, I don't know, her uncles or something, they own a nice beach house, you know? And in that beach house, it's a little town, you know? And in that little town is a little creek, you know? It's a little creek just flowing, and it was just another regular night, you know? We played loteria. We were just having a chill night, and it was time to go to bed, so we went to bed, and out of nowhere, I was sleeping, you know, on the ground. My girl was sleeping, like, it was just weird positions, you know?
Yeah.
We were both sleeping on the ground. And, dude, like, we both woke up on a random, like, at 4 a.m. randomly. And we kept seeing shadows. Oh, no. We were facing, like, were
y'all, like, in the city, or what was this?
No, this was a little town, like, little town beach house. You know, a little town beach house, right? So, dude, we were just seeing shadows and stuff, you know. Well, I was seeing them. She was like, let me sleep. Yeah. You know, and then I don't know, we heard this like a lady screaming, bro. It was like, yeah, bro, and we just looked at each other, chills down our spine, bro.
Damn.
Yeah, and that was one of the craziest times.
Was she screaming? Was she like mis hijos, or what she say?
It was just like imagine a Hispanic mom just yelling like help, like
just help.
No. It wasn't even help. It was like it sounded like help.
Yeah,
like
they trying to lure you in.
You know.
Oh damn,
dude, it was creepy, bro. That was a crazy story.
Wasn't Denzel with y'all?
Denzel was there, yeah, bro.
That's your one sister.
He was slumped, dude. Yeah, Denzel was he was slumped, dude.
He was slumped. Damn.
He didn't care, bro. That boy don't care. He just care about soccer and
and all that, bro. He don't really be paying attention to y'all like that.
Hey, this guy was goated at soccer, bro. You
I
gotta
was-
tell him, bro. How
I
good
was
were you?
I was pretty decent. So I played in a club called Lobos Rush. I played in one called Memphis FC. I played from my high school, middle school. It was a lot, bro. It was good
Sir.
playing with you too.
Dude, it was
It was
fun, dude.
fun,
It was
bro.
fun, bro. We had a solid team, dude.
hmm
Really good team. Yep.
And all right, Henry, let me kind of switch it up a little bit, and we're finna get a little bit on the serious side.
Let's do it.
So I think you're a really good guy, bro.
Thank
but
you, bro.
maybe people might have like misconceptions about you. So
Right.
what are some things that people think about you that like maybe they're wrong about?
Ooh, dude. That's a great question.
hmm
That's a great question. So I really like don't know what people think about me. And I know there's a lot of like thoughts everywhere. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people talking. There's just rumors everywhere, right? So I can't think of any, bro. I would say like I'm a young entrepreneur, right? So a lot of people might think like, yo, like maybe he's like stuck up or
Mm.
just stuff like that. You got any ideas?
I think for me, one misconception that I think people have about me is that like I'm like really serious all the time. When I feel like I give that look, but I'm not really like that. Like I feel
Right,
like
right.
if you get to know
Like
me,
I know you're not that serious all
yeah,
the time.
yeah,
Right,
like
right.
like we can talk about anything. So I think that that's something that I like. I don't know, maybe drive some people
Right. A lot of
away
people
or
told me like, yo, you're an old head. You like old head things. You like old head music. Like, but I really like doing things my age too. I like
yeah.
going out to party and stuff. And I don't know what else. Like, just that's a great question, dude. That's a really good question. I've heard a lot of people, like, a lot of people think I'm just probably mean or something. My
Mhm.
girl tells me that sometimes I have a mean face and
Oh
some
yeah,
like, my resting face.
yeah. You rest in face.
Right. Like, I promise y'all, bro, like, I'm really nice. You can come up to me, say what's up. Like, if I know you, I'll go up to you, bro.
Just
Matter
invite
of fact,
them.
if
Yeah.
I see you, I'm going up to you.
Mhm.
I hope, y'all go do the same. Sometimes I might look mad, but I'm not mad all the time, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
feel like you be wandering, bro. I feel
What
like
you
you
mean?
be like
I just go, bro.
Yeah, yeah. You just be
Bro.
in your own world sometimes.
Right, bro.
But
Right.
that's cool.
And,
That's all right.
I guess that's all I can think about. Yeah.
Mm.
That's a great question, though.
Yeah,
Really good
yeah.
question. Really good question.
If you could live in a different state instead of Memphis to like pursue your barbering,
Right.
where would you go?
Easy, bro. Florida.
Florida.
I'm going to Florida.
Why Florida?
Dude, cause there's so much things out there to do, I love being outside. So I feel like if I worked out there, maybe I could, be near the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like where we are, there's not much big barber presence, like barber shows, barber cons, like out there in Florida, dude, there's many. You know what I mean? There's
Mhm.
Tampa, you got Destin, you got those big cities, that just can help you grow. So if I could choose anywhere, I'll probably be in Tampa, Florida.
In
Right now.
Tampa. Okay.
Tampa right now. Yes, sir.
Would you want to be one of those people that has like barbershops in different cities, or are you just like a one city type of guy? With something
Honestly,
that-
bro, I would love to have barbershops in multiple cities, bro.
Yeah.
Multiple cities. Nashville. I love Nashville.
Nashville's a
I
vibe.
freaking
Yeah.
love Nashville,
Nashville's
bro.
nice.
Nashville, even a small town like, where Ole Miss is, something like that, something where a barber's needed would be nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro.
Okay. Ole Miss gives me like kind of like a homey vibe.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, like-
get you a little shot with 2-3 barbers out there.
Yeah.
It'll do good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So, bro, You've done amazing so far as a barber. I can't wait to see you grow more.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
So any words of encouragement to the people that maybe want to pursue being a barber or being an entrepreneur?
For being a barber, I would say take the leap of faith. There's so much information out there right now, like on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. It'll teach you about how to fade. How to scale your business. So just do it. Don't be scared. Buy those clippers. There's so many affordable clippers out right now. You can get a full set for like $50. So I'll say just do it. Don't be scared. If you're from here, be professional. Stay professional. Keep a clean image because that matters. And growing your clientele. The cleaner image you have, the more higher value clientele you can get. That's very important. And as you go, don't be scared to get mentors. There's a lot of misconception where I'm gonna do it alone. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do it on my own. I'm self-made, self-taught.
Yeah.
I want y'all to know, to be successful, you have to have mentors. You have to have people that are better than you around you. It just can't be just you alone. You gotta have people that are teaching you new techniques, new styles, new business strategies. So for barbers out there, just keep that in mind. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, get into like getting your own buildings, maybe looking into real estate, whatever. Like, I would say the similar things, study, keep reading books, TikTok, they have it all, it's all on the internet on how to grow, how to do it. Entrepreneurs, set goals for yourself. Never settle for what you got. There's so much competition. There's so much newer things coming out. You have to stay up to date as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You have to stay up to the standards. If not, you're gonna fall behind. So
yeah.
And if you're an entrepreneur, you gotta be kind of you kind of have to have a ruthless mindset in a way. Of like. Just believe in yourself, just be ruthless. If you're going to go get it. Don't back up, don't be scared. Don't be a wuss, go get it. And keep good people around you, bro. Keep good people around you, bro.
That's really.
I want to keep you around forever, bro.
Same, bro.
Yeah,
Got you, bro.
I'm my brother right here, bro. So keep good people around you. Don't stop asking questions. Keep an open mind and you'll be good. Yeah.
Some good advice, bro. Well, we're finna wrap up the show. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Henry, for being here with me, bro.
Thank you, bro, for having me, dude.
Thanks for all the advice, telling people, how they can grow and stuff like that. So I appreciate you. Thank you all for watching and listening, and we'll see you all in the next one.